Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Finks.
And we're back, man. Episode 383.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Before we start, we had a roach that came and barged in on our episode last week. That roach could not be reached for comment at this time. I tried to reach out to the roach's publicist, and I've gotten no return call yet. We're not sure if that roach is somewhere in the studio still.
Yeah.
If the roach has deceased, or we reached out to the family of the roach and nothing yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no maliciousness, no malicious intent from us. He did come and barge in on our episode. So yes, whatever we did make from that episode, we would like to get some of that money back from the Roach's family at this time. But, yeah.
And if you want to donate to the Roach Fund, just hit the Cash App. You know what I mean? Yeah. We take care of the funeral services and things like that.
Yeah, the roaches don't have it easy. If the LGBT community has a lot to deal with, and the roaches, the wings break sometimes, and they can't. A
lot of discrimination.
Against these roaches out here. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into the topic. All right, recently we had a couple different iconic legends pass away. We had Malcolm Jamal Warner, who passed away, known for the Cosbys and Malcolm and Eddie. Mm-hmm. And he was a huge part of our childhood growing up. Then you have Ozzy Osbourne, known for his music. And, I, doom, 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 and biting off bats' heads. There was this dude that said, like, everybody's shocked that Ozzy Osbourne died. But he's like, I'm surprised he didn't die sooner. He should have died when he ate that fucking bat. Right? So shout out to Ozzy. Sharon.
Did you used to watch the show?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot of him mumbling and fucking.
Yeah, he could not articulate himself.
They fucking motherfucking Sharon, help me, Sharon. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of that. And then also Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan passed away. Was a huge part of my childhood growing up. And I think a lot of people are also conflicted about Hulk Hogan because he's had a very, very peppered past. And I think that you don't have to be fake when people die. I think that if you do feel slighted or you do feel somebody had issues, you don't have to make up stories and act like, oh, rest in peace, he was such a great man. I will say this, and I will say this objectively. Quite a while back, he made some statements about his daughter's dating choice. She was talking to a black guy, and he was like, on recording stating like, oh, just like everybody's a little racist. I just don't want around all those niggers. You know what I'm saying? I don't want around those niggers. And it's like, and he said that probably about 4 or 5 times on that one audio message. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, come on. And he said this as a 61-year-old man. So he was well into his ways. This is who he was, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't have to like him. But what I will not do is I will not dance on anyone's grave. I will not say, I'm glad he died. Because there were some people saying that. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, good riddance. It's like, no, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah. Simply
because that's not how death works. You can't be happy somebody dies and all of a sudden when your mom dies or your uncle or whatever, it's like, somebody might be glad that your fucking grandpa passed. So it's not good to put that energy out. But I do also understand why people feel conflicted when it comes to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel a few ways about it. I feel like racism is a thing that has because it's deeper than racism. You know, a lot of that stuff is things like the last things some of our ancestors heard, you know what I mean, before they, before they got lynched or shot or whatever the case may be. So I feel like if you're coming from that place, it's a little bit understandable.
Right.
But at the same time, like for me, without that type of context, and if just me just on the surface, like I just don't even give it no energy.
100%.
Like, I don't really have to fake like I'm the biggest Hulk Hogan fan or I'm sad or whatever the case may be. I think that a lot of these, and that's just what we heard. So if you're comfortable saying that on the phone, who knows what else you have said or done to certain people.
Absolutely.
That was racist as well. So you just, hey, you don't get really nothing from me. Hulk Hogan passed away. Okay.
I feel horrible for his daughter, for Brooke Hogan, primarily because, one, having to deal with stuff like that from your dad, and then also he passed away on the anniversary of all the racist rant that he went on. So not only does she have to mourn her father, but she's also, they're rehashing that moment where he had that audio go live and he did that fucking Dateline interview and shit. So it's like, man, I feel horrible for Brooke Hogan. All she really wanted to do was make music and shit, and then it just turned into a clusterfuck. You know, so I that's super unfortunate. And like I was saying, I don't ever want to hold anyone to their lowest moment, right? However, it's a little different when a person is in their 60s and they say some shit like this. Like if a person's like 23 and they say some horrible shit, something really distasteful, something super racist, whatever, right? It's kind of like I have to give you the ability to update your programming and change because I think people can change. But when you're 60-something years old, that's where it's a little different. I'm choosing not to hate. I don't hate Hulk Hogan, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm his biggest fan after doing that shit. That is inexcusable.
Yeah. I think, you don't even want to give that attention. I think, but also like you talked about Malcolm Jamal Warner, that was one of those ones that was just so random. He's relatively young too. He passed away. I think he drowned accidentally in Costa Rica. That's definitely like a sad situation because I think he has kids. I don't know if he has multiple kids. I know he has. I think one was there on vacation with him when he had passed away. So yeah, definitely rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to him. He was a person that I think a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about him.
Yeah, they did.
Just in terms of, who he was as a person and obviously like being on the Cosby Show. And I had forgot the show Malcolm and Eddie as well. Like he had a very extensive career, acting, on different sitcoms and things like that. And yeah, he's always seemed like an extremely like positive person. So it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate too, like within this past week, they always say like death comes in threes, which is like it's kind of a weird thing when it like when it actually happens. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Like he's one of those people that, whether you were, I don't even say like black families, but just growing up watching, these sitcoms and then they get syndicated and then you watching it, again and again. He's one of those guys that we kind of are, really familiar with because of his acting career.
Yeah, I think a part of this too is you're seeing your childhood stars starting to pass away, and it's a reminder of nobody is above death, and also how old we're getting. It's different. I know you start the Hulk Hogan's and whatnot, but like when DMX passed and fucking Macho Man Randy Savage passed, things like that are a reminder.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Macho Man was loved, man. Him and Hulk Hogan gonna be going at it every day. It's like, it's about time you showed up. I've been up here eating beef sticks my whole life waiting on you. You can't call me the N-word because I'm not black.
That's hilarious.
Step into a Slim Jim. You remember those commercials?
Yeah, I do.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I did think about that though. Like I don't know, it's something every now and then. Like I'll just be driving or whatever, and then I'll think about the fact that I'm getting older, which means like you said, people that I'm a fan of, musicians or whatever, and then even people that I'm related to are getting older. And it brings me like a very it's like short-term sadness. I don't even know how to describe it.
Absolutely. Like a nostalgic-based sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Speaking of nostalgia, I watched Happy Gilmore 2 this morning.
Oh, nice.
And Adam Sandler.
Don't spoil it for me, though.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
I'm just going to say Adam Sandler actually made a debut on The Cosby Show with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so which is it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they had talked. There was an article where I don't know if they had asked him a question about it or what, but they had showed the pictures of them when they were much younger. Yeah. Probably like teenagers.
So, I think he was 17 and Malcolm Jamal Warner was 19.
Dang, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's way back, man. I know. The only thing I will say is, Happy Gilmore has like a lot of '90s humor, so I think this is like a nostalgic. Like if you're new to the movie, you may not understand it. Mm-hmm. You might need to watch the old one that came out.
Watch the old one first, and then double back. Yeah,
that's dope. What I can say, is as far as a cast, he found a way to sneak both of his daughters in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
which I thought is really cool. Adam Sandler has both his daughters in the movie.
Yeah, it's
I was
really
like,
dope.
wow,
Yeah.
that's how old we're getting.
Adam Sandler he's doing really well with his Netflix deal. I don't think it's talked about enough. Obviously, we always talk about Dave Chappelle's Netflix deal and how he was able to do like 5 specials or whatever for X amount of millions. But Adam Sandler has, I think he has like another sequel on there. But yeah, he's just bringing all of his movies to Netflix.
Yeah.
And, he has a great production, thing going on there. And the value it looks like the movies look good. It don't look like,
they do.
some cheap ran down, projects. So
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam Sandler, man.
I think Adam Sandler needs to bring back that Hanukkah movie, that animated movie he had.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Something Nights of Hanukkah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget the name of it.
A movie was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was like a adult animation type
Yes,
thing.
yes, yeah. They got to bring that back. And he was one of my favorite cast members back in the day on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When I watch like Saturday Night Live now, I don't really watch it at all. But when I watch it now, I'm a little bit disconnected because it was a huge part of my childhood. I used to watch it every Saturday, bro.
Right.
And that was back in the day when they had Chris Farley on there, and remember Dave Meadows? I think it's Dave Meadows, the black dude.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, the black dude had like a little mini fro, and then they had who else was on there? They had Adam Sandler. They had David Spade. Kevin Nealon, I think he was on there. They had a great cast, man. But that cast that had Chris Farley was the best. Yeah, but we'll go ahead and move on. It's enough of this old people shit that I'm talking about. All right, switching gears. What do we know about the T app? Okay, the T app, this is what the T app is. The T app is for women. I'm going to read it verbatim. What is the T app? The T app is a U.S.-based dating app marketed as a resource for women's safety and dating advice. It allows women to share information, advice, and photos of men they've dated or interested in dating, and also enables users to perform background checks, search for criminal records, and reverse image search photos to potentially identify catfishing. The app has gained popularity for its features that allow women to anonymously share pictures and potentially warn each other about problematic individuals. Okay, look, I feel like the basis of why this app exists is not bad. I think that if men are behaving predatorily, putting their hands on women, gaslighting, doing crazy stuff, I feel like those dudes need to get exposed. But the dark side of this app is the fact that they can post this stuff anonymously and it could be a misrepresentation of your character. A woman could just be jaded because it didn't work out and now she's posting your pictures. Stay away from him. He's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. And that's where the app goes south. Well, for one, the app just got infiltrated. They stole a bunch of people's information off that app, right? A bunch of information. And then I guess men came out with the alternative one. It's called like the coffee app or some shit like that. But what I don't like about this is the fact that instead of finding ways to mend our relationships as men and women, we're relying on apps, and I think that we need to do a better job of using discernment. Like, if you've dealt with enough men or women in your life, you should be able to be like, okay, this person doesn't have it together, right? If you need to go on an app to post a picture of somebody, I think that that's very telling. I don't think anybody is that great of hiding who they are. I think that people even that try to be their best representative will still leave cracks. But you have to be self-aware. So I may be speaking for myself, but there's no way that you don't see anything. You will always get an inkling of something that a woman's doing that she shouldn't be fucking doing. And from that point, you're like, I think I'm gonna stop dealing with this chick. Or I'll keep dealing with her for a second just so I could just figure out more what her psychology is like. And if there's any more red flags, I'll just get rid of her. I'm not even going to deal with her anymore.
Yeah, I think that works for your relationships, but for women, it's more dangerous. I think it's more of a dangerous game. So when you're talking about like physical abuse, like if there's somebody on there that, they may have been abused by their partner, and maybe their partner, like they actually told the police, and their partner ended up going to jail or whatever the case may be. But then, they get out and then they're still kind of living their life. If that woman wants to warn other women about that type of situation, I don't think that there's a way where a woman dating them like can just pick that up, before it happens. I think those kind of things just happen. So I think like you said, on the surface, it's valuable, because there are a lot of strange men out here that's moving, really wild, and like whether they're, assaulting people or whatever the case may be. Even like, back in the day before like these, like when there was certain popular serial killers, and you would hear all the stories about how charming they were and how they, they were always like easy on the eyes and things like that. I think it's kind of weird to say, but I think an app like this would like help those type of situations, because somebody may have had a interaction with that type of person, and they put it on here, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, like I was actually matched with him on whatever app, like let me go cancel this, whatever the case may be. So I think, like I said, on the surface, it makes a lot of sense. But what happens is, just like human nature, like we infiltrate things, and when we just kind of bring the toxicity out of everything. So you start to see people talking about sexual performances, and this dude is little, and all that type of stuff, which is not really the intent. Right. But I think that, I don't know, I think when you're developing an app, you have to kind of factor in like what's the Murphy's law of this situation? Like what's the worst thing that can happen in the situation? I think a lot of people don't really think like that.
Yeah, I think that there's two schools of thought. I think there's women that want to be warned, but I think that there are women that I don't want to say run to danger, but there were women that were talking about the app, and they were saying like women would post a dude, and girls would be like, "Ooh, like what's his Instagram?" Mm-hmm. Like even though the dude was getting red flags, women were still attracted to him. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a truth that needs to be mentioned as well. I think that even with bad reviews, as women are grown adults that also make decisions. They're going to want what they want. And if they're posting a guy and saying he's great in bed, but he's a terrible person, and they'll be like, yeah, he's terrible. He's a terrible person, but he's great in bed. There might be a chick that's looking for that.
Yeah.
So even if you're giving them red flags, they got a green flag in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem with that app too. Mm-hmm. Like those guys, the biggest womanizers that don't respect women will still get access to women just based off of what other women are saying. Mm-hmm. Because women want what other women want. They won't admit that, but I've seen it too many times. Mm-hmm. If a dude has got like 20 different chicks that he likes, and they know 5 chicks that dated that guy, it's not going to stop a woman from still dating him. It's just not, But here's another problem that popped up. It got hacked. So hackers leaked 13,000 user photos and IDs from the T app, designed as a woman's safe space. Hackers breached the T app, which recently went viral as a place for women to safely talk about men, and tens of thousands of women's selfies and photo IDs have now seemingly been leaked online. The spokesperson confirmed the hack Friday afternoon. The company estimated that 72,000 images, including 13,000 verification photos and images of government IDs, were accessed, this is crazy. T is designed to function as a virtual whisper network for women, allowing them to upload photos of men and search for them by name. Users can leave comments describing specific men as a red flag or green flag, and share other information about them. It's recently gained such as popularity that it became the top free app in the Apple Store this week. The app claimed Thursday to have recently gained nearly 1 million new signups. Dang, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. I just think personally, I would not engage in the app because of safety purposes. You just got all your information leaked. Mm-hmm. That's a bad thing. But as a man, if there's an app like that, I would not get on there. Mm-hmm. I would not, simply because on there, I think the men would go a little overboard. It would be all kind of sex tapes and shit on there. And
yeah.
Just overly exposing things. Like my thing is whenever I've been done wrong by a woman, I just simply moved away and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because that's what you need to do. I'm not gonna go on an app and be like, you know what, watch out for this girl. You know, she be cheating, she be doing this, and it's like it just does nothing for me.
Right.
I just hope that whatever dude she deals with in the future is smart enough to know how to, you know, get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta acquire some, you know, some discernment and life skills in order to deal with anybody in this world, whether it's professional, at work, or in relationships. And I think that more people need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going on this app, I just don't know if that's the best thing. But there was a woman that mentioned she went on a date. This is before this whole app popped up. I seen this video on TikTok. She was going to meet some dude on a date or whatever, and she was pretty skeptical, so she chose to wait in her car. And somehow she got his information. She got like his first name and his last name, whatever, or she cross-referenced something. I forgot what she did. She found out like his government because it wasn't on his dating app. Mm-hmm. She found his last name and she was able to look some stuff up. But actually, she sent that information to her friends and said, "Get back to me when you get the information." They were able to search his name and they found out that he had a domestic violence case that was open. Like it was like a legit domestic violence case.
Yeah.
And then she texted the dude and he was like, "Are you here?" She says, "Yeah, but I had to drive off." She's like, "I felt like, you know, it wasn't safe for me and you to meet. I did see that you have like a domestic violence situation." And he was like, "Yeah, you know, I could have really explained that, but I understand, you know." But it's like, if she looked that up and found it, I don't blame her for driving off. You shouldn't be beating on women.
Yeah, that's why I think that there's value in that kind of app, you know, because you might get that type of situation. But that's why I said, like, for women it's a little different because there's a
danger element.
There's a safety element involved.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think for her that's great that she did her due diligence. I think that you know, she could have potentially saved herself from, you know, being the next guy. But I think also with those type of situations, I do know on the man's side, like sometimes it's not true. Like sometimes it
Absolutely.
be some people lying or whatever the case may be. But if he handled it in that way, like that, you know, that probably there's probably more of a story behind the situation. But sometimes, like, you know, sometimes niggas just be beating up they women, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, I think the best way for women to determine if a man has anger issues and possible physically, potential physical assault issues, you got to watch how he deals with inconvenience. That's going to give a man away every time. If you go into like Taco Bell or something, he's like, I already ordered my food. Man, they always doing this. He got his fist balled up and shit. You need to run. If this motherfucker's losing his mind over a few tacos, imagine what's going to happen if you get in a like legit argument.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta get away. Or even if the dude's not mad at you, but you look at how mad he gets at others, that like his family members or whatever. If he is like psychotically angry, that is not a person. That's the type of person that will black out. They'll black out. I remember I broke up a fight one time. This is, oh God, I think it was like in college. And I was just holding this dude back. I was like, "Oh man, I just let it go, man, let it go." And he's like, oh. And I was like, "Bro, it's okay, let it go." It's like he was looking through me, bro.
Yeah.
So when he did that shit to me, I just backed off.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm not breaking no more of this up."
Yeah.
Like if you break some people up, they'll start swinging at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when they're intoxicated.
It's like, "Get off of me, dog. What you want to do? What you want to do?" Like, nah, I don't want no problems, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop you from getting your ass whooped, but go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to catch that fade that bad? Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, that psychotic like rage, that strength is different. So you don't want to.
Yeah, I think for me, when women start talking about money, like, and when I mean like talking about money almost like in a coercing like energy behind it, like saying stuff like, "Yeah, like you know, it's just, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Like, I like nice things. I like to wear nice things. And, you know, I don't like to pay for it, but I like to have nice things." Like, when they do shit like that, I'm like, "Nah, I feel you. I ain't never texting this girl back."
Yeah, that's wild. That's a wild thing to say.
I've had shit like that happen. And I'm not going to judge you for that, but I'm not a dummy
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not a dummy that's gonna be trying to get you like that. I don't have the budget to pay for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not gonna happen. And I
Yeah.
think it's insulting for you to like look at me like I'm some type of trick or something. You got me fucked up.
Yeah. That's not really for you, though.
No.
There's somebody out there that'll trick on a woman.
Yeah, there's somebody out there. They ain't sure the fuck ain't me. And I think that men are real stupid in that way. You could never buy a woman. You think you can? You could never buy a woman. You could maybe lease her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could rent her, but you can't buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you think it's dudes out here so dumb. There was a stripper where one of her clients paid for her breast implants. He paid for some other surgeries and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, another guy came in and started like really paying me more money. And he was getting jealous because the attention I was showing him. And I'm like, bro, you playing a deadly motherfucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you playing a serious bad game.
Mm-hmm.
You let a client buy you freaking breast implants and cosmetic surgery?
Yeah.
That is not smart.
Yeah. I mean, that's the world they live in. She do like, what is it, like sex work or what is it? She like a stripper or what?
What stripper is that? Would that be considered like sex work?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, she's definitely a sex worker.
Yeah.
I mean, but was that more of like an investment then probably?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, her job is to get paid by dudes, so I don't even think this that far-fetched for her to be like, yeah, like I'm doing this without dancing, like, that's cool.
You know what's crazy? I think about it. I think like a BBL and like breast implants are perfectly fine if you're a stripper. But if you work at Target Distribution Center, why the fuck do you have a BBL?
Yeah.
You at a warehouse job with your BBL about to explode.
Yeah.
God damn. People gonna start having BBL attacks. Watch. The ambulance and everybody gonna show up. The ambulance, the police. Like, please help her. She's having a BBL attack. It's like,
Yeah. They're more, I think they're more affordable now. So you're starting to see more people with regular jobs getting the BBLs.
You can pay payments on the BBL too.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder what happens when you don't make your payments. Can they repossess your BBL? Do they bring a tow truck to get your BBL back?
That's crazy.
That'll be crazy. You ain't paid your BBL in like 3 months, and then you just hear like a backing up truck. Deet, 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 deet. Then the air brakes. It's like, man, I think they're coming to get my BBL. Put it in the garage and close the door.
Turn all the lights off and close the windows.
Then the tow man knock on the door. I know y'all in there. I can smell that BBL. I smell that BBL through the door.
Yeah. You got the freaking bounty hunters outside.
Dog the bounty hunter coming to get your BBL back. I know you guys are in there. Open up the door right now, please. Please. We just need to get your BBL. You can talk to the bank. They'll figure it out. But right now, we need your BBL. And they open the door. Is Melissa here? No, she's not here. What do you need? I think Melissa's there for one. And also, we've been reaching out to you. She has a bounty on her. And her BBL is we need to repossess it as of now. The bank owns it at this point. She says she's working. She's trying to pay her BBL off by the week. Said she could give you $100. Like, that's not enough. It's not enough. We're going to need her to get on the tow truck, and we're going to take that BBL back right now. Oh, my God.
Let's take it back to Miami.
Oh, man. That's got to suck.
Mm-hmm.
Repossessing a BBL?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine a surgery? Like a surgeon is in the truck with them, with the tow truck people?
Just taking the BBL out with a vacuum.
Yeah, nah. He just all he got is like a paring knife, like a paring knife, and like a suction cup, and he just take the BBL right out, right there.
Dang.
And then you imagine the night before you at the club with this big old fat ass.
Yeah.
And then the next morning you ain't got no ass again.
Yeah, she leave the freaking tow truck with her pants sagging.
Oh my God.
No cake no more.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Enough about this, man. Sorry about the BBLs out there that might be listening. I'm sure your BBL's been paid off and you're fine. All right. Switching gears. You can help pay off America's debt with Venmo now. My question to you listeners is, why the fuck would you do that? But here it is. It says Americans looking to chip in to pay off the country's debt can now do so on Venmo. The U.S. Department of Treasury is making headlines after social media posts from an NPR reporter revealed the department had added Venmo as a payment option through its gifts and reduce. Oh, Lord. I'm so tired of this shit. I'm getting tired reading this bullshit. Gifts and reduce the public debt program. The program has been around since 1961, and according to AOS, roughly $67.3 million has been donated since 1996. The page caps donations at basically $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
1 penny from a million.
Yeah. But given the country's debt is nearly $37 billion, economists say that the page is more of a symbolic gesture than a solution, according to the U.S. Congress Joint Economic. The total national debt has grown by 55,000 per second for the past year. God damn. We're not going to outpace that with our donation. Mm-hmm. Second of all, I don't feel bad for the government at all. If we live in a country where we got to make sure we have good credit and shit if we want to finance a car or to get a home. So we're doing all that with a country that can't even balance their own checkbook. Like, what the fuck kind of sense does that make? Mm-hmm. I'm not paying y'all a dime. But I can donate these nuts. Right? Y'all can get these nuts.
Yeah.
Right? That's the best I could do.
Yeah.
Right? But outside of that, not happening, buddy. And then what's crazy is you look at how much we're getting taxed, whether it's out of your paycheck or when you buy anything, you got sales tax, or when you're paying your anything online, you got a fee for this and a fee for that. Like, bro, there is no way I will give you any more of my money. Mm-hmm. Like, if you get any more of my money, we have to fight, bro. We have to fight for it. At this point, we just need to run the fucking fade. I don't know which one of you niggas in the suit I got to fight, but you need to leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
My God.
I don't think it's that deep though. I think this is.
Hey, yo.
I think they're just saying that there's a payment option. Like you can use Venmo now to do something that's been around since 1961. But I think that this obviously people donated. And I think that there's probably people that they use it as maybe like a tax write-off or something like that.
Yeah, but it's scary. Yeah, go ahead.
They use it as a tax write-off, and I think that it's probably some people just love America, and they're like, "Hey, man, I just want my country to be better," and they just donate this money. That won't be me. I'm not donating no more money than I need to. No. But yeah, I think that I think all they're doing is essentially saying like you can use a different form of currency now to do what we've been doing since the 60s.
I bet you the only people donating to that shit is boomers.
Yeah, probably so.
They had the best economy. I'm not so dumb. Like what I know is Gen Z has it way harder than I had it. Mm-hmm. Like coming out of high school, I know that Gen Z has got it worse than anyone.
Why you say that?
Because they do. Like when you think about like boomers, the cost of living, things of that nature, mathematically is not on par. It's not like it's outpacing a lot of people's what they're making as of now. Mm-hmm. But I still grew up in a better economy than Gen Z did. Gen Z is like, for example, there's a lot of jobs in the mall. Like when I got out of high school, I was working like in the mall or at Sears or whatever. But there are now like grown adults fighting for those jobs because there's so little. The job market is fucked. Hmm. And there are certain positions and things that have been taken over by AI as well, which is making it worse. So these young people have to figure it out. Like they got a whole different path than what I had.
Yeah.
And it's immensely. I would say it's immensely more difficult because you could at least get your own place still. When I was coming up, if you had an okay job, you get your first apartment. Yeah. But the boomers, there was a woman talking about her son. Her son was like a little younger than me, and he just got out of college. He said when I just got out of high school, I got a Taco Bell job and I got my first apartment. Dang. She got a job at Taco Bell and had her fucking apartment.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
Fuck no, not at all. If you working at Taco Bell and you got your own apartment, you probably gotta work 100 hours a week to pay for that shit. Yeah. You could never make enough tacos to afford a fucking mortgage in 2025. Yeah.
I think that the money is the inflation is part of it, but I think the biggest issue is that there's not a lot of full-time jobs.
Exactly.
So there's people that are only working like 20 hours a week.
Oh my God.
just working, a few hours here and there. Just that's not going to cut it. And the reason they did that, to my knowledge, is because of certain tax incentives and stuff like that the businesses, have to pay for having more full-time employees and things like that. So instead of doing that, they just start capping everybody out at 30-something hours. So they don't have to pay full-time employees incentives. So, and I think part of that stuff too is probably the benefits that they have to pay those people. So at most of these jobs like Taco Bell and stuff, it's really the only full-time people are usually the managers.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is just part-time employees. So, and that's most jobs now.
Yeah, that's most jobs now. I know when I was at Sears, I was considered part-time, but I would get at least during the week, I would get 30 hours, 31 hours, right? But we had a dude shout out to the homie Terrell. But he used to get 34 hours a week, I think. He was considered full-time back then. And when you're full-time, you're guaranteed those hours. But they ended up switching this shit up and took all them hours away from him.
Dang.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm out of here, cuz. I'm done. I'm done, cuz. I'm done." So
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah, you set your life up around what you expect your job to keep doing. So I could see if they just take all your hours away, you're like, I got to pay bills. I got rent. I got a car note and stuff like that. So
Yeah, man.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. If you love this country enough to spend money on it, even though you've been getting taxed your whole life, and you still drive over potholes and neglected areas in your town, go ahead. Go ahead, buddy. I'm not going to stop you. I just will never, ever, 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 ever donate. I'd rather give my money to fucking strangers before I give it to the government.
Yeah, but it's also a thing that doesn't really affect the debt
At all.
Yeah, they said if part of it too is we have maybe 300 million people in America, I believe, and our debt is in the trillions. So it doesn't matter. The government has to figure out how to do the debt. But also on top of that, debt is not always a bad thing. No. It's just kind of the way the world works. There's debt across the board. Everybody owes somebody. When you're even if you're trying to buy a car, or you're trying to buy a house, or if you're trying to buy a BBL, even they got Klarna and Afterpay and all these things.
Not for BBL. Klarna for BBL?
No, I'm not connecting those.
Oh, I'm about to be
that's a period.
Damn.
But no, I'm saying they have Klarna. I bought something recently, and it was only $10, and they was asking me if I want to split it up into 4 payments.
Yeah, they're doing that with
dog. If I'm trying to split up $10 in 4 payments, I probably shouldn't be buying it.
They doing that with fast food now. I think we talked about it, with McDonald's and shit. That thing was Klarna. And I'm like, bro, if you
leasing food.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's how bad times are.
Yeah.
I like to break my McDouble up in 4 payments.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, man.
That's fucked up. But I'm thinking there's a time where that might be useful. Imagine you're a first-time home buyer and you say, I want to break this up into 90 payments. And they'd be like, what's your down? My down is $50. You get a house for $50.
Yeah, with the Klarna app.
That'd be dope. It's okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take, in order for you to pay the mortgage, we're going to have to take $900 a day. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good idea.
Yeah. There was that thing that I think Jay-Z had mentioned it. This is something along the lines of if you can't buy it 4 times, then you shouldn't be buying it. I don't even know if he said that. Remember back in the day, they used to have quotes from people that they never said.
Oh my God! They did it with Drake more than anybody.
Drake's picture would be on them. Tupac would be another one that would be. He would be saying a lot of stuff. There was one on there. It'd be saying random stuff, yo, if you ever in Bakersfield, wear sunscreen. It's Tupac.
He never said that.
Tupac never said that, dog.
Yeah, they have a picture of Tupac, it'd be thick Latinas is the way to go. That nigga never said that. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
That's funny. Yeah, that was before the memes. That was just the fake quotes going around.
Yeah, you just lying. Now you just flat out lying. It'd be R. Kelly I love women my age.
Oh, dang. We know he didn't say that.
Yeah, he does. I'm not fooling around with you. Oh my God.
That's wild, bruh. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, that's it's save your money, man.
And I just think about how diabolical fucking R. Kelly was when Aaliyah made a song "Age Ain't Nothing But a Number." That was like to probably like boost R. Kelly's ego.
Yeah, man.
Age ain't nothing but a number. Down ain't nothing but a thing. And R. Kelly was in the background like, that's right.
Yeah, that's disgusting, dude.
Super disgusting. I don't want to rehash it, but we just sat there in the 90s.
And just listened to the music.
We just listened to the music.
Yeah. Which is so unfortunate. Like, it's like, I hate that we do this, but we always kind of point back to his talent and things like that. But, just as a songwriter and a musician and how popular he was, like, that's a sad situation.
And I hate the people that make up excuses. Man, free R. Kelly, man. He did nothing wrong. It's like, what?
Yeah. They need to throw you in jail. Throw you in jail for thinking like that.
Yeah, you need to be in jail. You're suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'll be like, bro, that was your fucking daughter. You're like, well, my daughter wouldn't do that because, I know my daughter, but those parents need to go to jail. It's like, bro.
Yeah.
Stop, bro. Just stop. You don't look good defending P. Diddy or R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. I will never defend a man that is openly doing wrongdoing to women. He's just not going to get my support. Mm-hmm. Like when the whole, what was the other one? Well, Tory Lanez, you ain't never got me out here saying free Tory. Never. You got to let the judicial system figure that shit out.
Let it sort it out.
Yeah, if you got any involvement in something abusive towards women, I won't even say that you did it or didn't do it. I would just simply say, hey, I don't want to provide any commentary. Let's let the system figure out if this man is guilty or not.
Yeah, I think I would say it's extremely weird. I'm just saying the way that the way that the case played out.
Right.
For you to be saying like free somebody. And I get that, some people probably don't believe that he did it, but at the end of the day, like he was convicted and that man is in prison.
Yep.
So I'm with you. Not that like maybe I don't believe it. Like maybe I don't know all the facts. Like I watched most of the people, the commentators that were at the courthouse, during that case. And most people was kind of like, it was a toss up, and he ended up getting convicted. But I will say, like, I am not going to be a person that's like free him, even like if I just don't know, you know what I mean? If it was so like clear cut, like, nah, he was wrongfully convicted and I don't believe it. But, it was a situation where, I don't know, like you just never know. Cause like even the way Diddy's court case played out, like I thought he was for sure gone. Like I thought he was for sure going to get this.
Yeah.
That whole RICO and
RICO didn't stick.
Yeah, but it didn't. So that's one of those things where I'm like, we can't just go with that kind of blanket statement that black people are they're always going to get convicted when they're thrown in those situations because we see Diddy on the biggest case he could have been facing life in prison, but now he's probably going to get a handful of years and be out pretty soon.
I don't know how soon he'll be out or not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Diddy's best days are behind him.
Yeah.
I think with a guy like R. Kelly, you got too much shit to like prove in court for him to be innocent of anything.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, that's not my penis. That's not my urine. It's like,
yeah, it was.
I think you're looking kind of pissy, R. Kelly.
Yeah. But it says a lot too, like when you think about I think that, which is kind of weird to say, but I think that if Tory was a bigger artist, that case would have went a little different.
What, like because he's 5'2" or what?
Yeah, he's just a small artist. But there's never been a version of Tory Lanez that was as big as R. Kelly.
No.
But I think if he was like, if he had that level of I mean, I'm not talking about talent, but just like that level of fame.
It'd be hard to convict like a Jay-Z or something.
Yeah, I think that he would probably be out of prison.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. He got stabbed up recently. I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
We haven't heard much from him, but one of the kids at my school said that her mom was at the hospital when he had, came in there. Like she was a nurse at the hospital that he came to. So I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Can you imagine if Jay-Z, like if like a person of his stature and power was like, they try to convict him of the Meg stuff?
Mm-hmm.
he would just come out with a song and it would just probably just dead the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they saying I shot Megan. Ain't no way she not even on my playlist. And the court be like,
order in the court.
Order in the court. That was fire. Order in the court. That was fire.
That was comedy.
All of a sudden you hear them Jamaican horns. Bam, 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 bam. That was fire. The court has decided not guilty.
Yeah. Jay-Z's, I think what I will say about Jay-Z is like he has cleaned up the way he moved. Like he just don't, after the last, well, he was already kind of moving pretty clean before, but after the whole cheating thing, which we only knew partly because of the elevator situation and then partly because of the Lemonade album. But outside of that, like he be moving. It's like A1. Like his stuff is, you don't hear too many rumors about nothing. You don't really hear, if you hear rumors about things, it's just something that's so far fetched that it's just like, it just falls, it pretty much falls flat. Like this whole assault situation that with the Tony Busby or whatever. But outside of that, like he be moving clean. Like he seemed like he just, really taking on the role of the family man and, taking care of his kids and touring with his wife and stuff like that.
They said that I was cheating on Beyonce. I'm like a Marvel character. I be doing cosplay. All right, man. To switch gears. Switching gears. Recently, rapper Slim Thug had a response to Megan Thee Stallion. She was buying Klay Thompson a $300,000 watch, and he felt slighted by it. Do you got that wire in there or no?
No, I don't.
Dang it. All right, I'll play some of it. This is very, 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 very bitter. Fellas, don't ever do this, right? If you get rejected by a woman, just let it go. I'm surprised that he would even react like this in a visceral way. It's just really strange. Mm-hmm. But let me play the video.
I was that nigga. You ain't give Slim that chance, but you gave that nigga you thought was that nigga that chance. He not around 25 years later still buying Rolls Royces. So don't ever fucking be mad at no. Just accept the no and the rejection and know that if you a tough motherfucker like me, you gonna get your time to shine. They have to live what they told you no. Okay, if it ain't me, let's see how that work out for you. Let's see what you end up with. Yeah, I like the watch. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not talking about the Stallion. She got her own boss life resort and shit. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not talking about her. I'm talking about real life shit. Y'all gotta realize, man, that's as much as I like the Stallion, I'm not trying to, I want to be treated like the king, man. She a whole queen. That's expensive. Did you see the watch? She bought that nigga $300. Man, what kind of gift you got to buy back if she give you a $300,000 watch? I can't have no woman, little boy in me. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get your money up, man.
Yeah, well, that you get a gist of how sad that sounds. Mm-hmm. You're speaking of what she bought a man that she actually likes, right? Mm-hmm. That's what women do when they actually like a man. They do things for him.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like this, man. Because when women bring this stuff up, I want to be like, dang, man, y'all just be exaggerating sometimes or whatever. But it's like, when this shit happens, you got to side with the women. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just not it, bro. This is not it. And he said, like, just accept the rejection. Nigga, you're not doing that.
Yeah, he's still talking about it.
Yeah, stop. Just stop. Yeah. Shut up. And the thing about it is this. If you have that feeling of jealousy in your heart or in your mind as a man, you need to learn how to suppress it and sit down and shut your mouth. Don't get on the internet bashing a woman. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, I think that our first bouts of getting rejected weren't easy. We probably liked the girl and she didn't really give us the time of day. And then we seen her run off with some other dude and we're like, oh man, dang, just shut up.
Yeah.
Women don't owe you. The best way to go throughout life is just women don't owe me anything. They don't owe me anything. I don't feel like they're obligated to do anything. It starts to change once you get in a relationship or something like that. But I just don't understand the like to go on live, and you're old enough to be her dad, by the way. Like Megan is what is she only like 20 what?
I don't know how old she is.
She's probably like 27 or something. Let me look her up. Meg the Stallion. Meg is she's 30.
Okay. Oh, okay. So he's only 44. So
yeah.
he's not really old enough to be her dad. But,
okay, but he's
he's
14 years older than her. Mm-hmm. And I would expect a man that is 14 years her senior to be behaving a little better than this.
Yeah.
Especially and also you never look good as a man berating a woman on social media. And he's like 6'7" or something. So you're this big Jolly Green giant that's hating on a woman that bought her man something. You shouldn't even have an opinion on that. You shouldn't even have an opinion. If I was with a chick and she didn't buy me shit, right? And then we break up and then she buys her new man a car, I'm like, damn, she must love him because she did not love me. Let me just fade away into the black.
Yeah.
Let me just focus on women who like me. That's another thing. Fellas, when women like you, they treat you better. Focus on those women. Mm-hmm. Not Meg the Stallion. I mean, he just looking at all that ass twerking all the time on stage, and it's driving him crazy because he wanted so bad. And he also mentioned her he's like, yeah, she done fucked a good amount of niggas. She done did this and that. And it's like, bro, let's not even mention that. Mm. Like even if let's say she was a hoe, right? Let's say she was hoeing. She being a hoe for the nigga she like. You ain't the nigga she likes, so shut up.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's right. So that's the thing. Because there's some chicks out there that you done heard some stories and you like, shit, I wouldn't mind getting my turn. And then and then you don't get your turn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds good just because she didn't give him no attention. But I don't even think she's not even paying him no mind.
No.
You know what I mean? So I don't even know, for him to kind of be giving her all this energy and still talking about her, even though she's in a relationship, is a little weird. I mean, I'm going to say it a little weird. It's very weird.
Very weird.
So I don't know. I just think some thug just need to sit down somewhere. I think certain people, he's starting to get into the old head era of his life. Yeah. And, when the old heads, they start to get a hold of social media, they start to do stuff like this, start talking about things, start streaming. I mean, not streaming, but going live while they driving and, just talking about nonsense. No one actually cares about, your desire to have Meg the Stallion not even thinking about you.
And he was on a podcast where he made both of the co-hosts feel pretty uncomfortable. It's a podcast called Poor Minds. Mm-hmm. And they're actually really good, but he was just being super thirsty.
Really?
Overly thirsty. Mm-hmm. Constantly making insinuations about hollering at them.
Yeah.
And it's first of all, when you in a woman's space, you go to a woman's podcast, you don't need to kiss their ass, but you need to be decent. They've built that platform up, have some respect for it. Don't come in there but you looking good in that dress. No, don't do that.
I wonder if he's feeling he's a little past his prime and he don't really know it yet.
I know.
Maybe when he was a little younger, when he was actually making, actively making, charting music.
The shit might have worked.
Yeah, he could probably talk like that, but now he's a little older. And he don't really know that he not that guy no more.
Yeah. They'll be like, what's your name? They call me the boss. What's your government name? Like I said, they call me the boss, Slim Thugger.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of you before. Are you a rapper or you play basketball or?
Yeah, you got to realize too, if you ain't dropped music in the last handful of years, or if you ain't got no certified classic records, these young kids, these 20-something, 19, 18-year-olds, they don't know who you are.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't know. I feel like a person that's around his age that remain pretty relevant and pretty dope over the years is Paul Wall.
Yeah.
Paul Wall is just in his lane. He does work with some younger artists and shit, but he just been real chill. Mm-hmm. 'Cause back in the day, Swisher House was the shit. They had a little run where it was Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Slim Thug. Who else was at Swisher House? I can't remember who it was. But those
all
is
Texas rappers.
All them Texas rappers.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, Mike Jones had a dope ass album. Mm-hmm. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Hey, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I know you called that fucking number.
281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, cause Mike Jones about to blow.
Before I had that, what he said? Before I had the major grill, before I had that major deal, hold and give a damn if I was here. Chill. That shit used to slap.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Back then they didn't want me.
But that they all on me was a clean version. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. That's a clean version.
Oh,
but
really?
the regular version was back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, hoes all on me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was.
Back in the day, like the most music that I consumed was like BET, radio, stuff like that. So I would always hear the clean versions of song, not knowing that ain't even the real lyrics.
Yeah,
because you'll hear like the whisper song, it'd be like, wait till you see my eye, and you'd be like, oh, this song, and it sounded good.
Yeah.
But then when you heard the other version and they like talking nasty, you like, dang, this is a little offensive.
It's a little too much.
Yeah,
I want to put my finger in your booty. Whisper in your ear.
I want to put my dick up in your ear.
You're like, damn.
You're like, man, that's nasty.
I want to put two in the stink, one in the pan. Oh, man.
I want to put my D in your ear. Call it deer.
Damn. That was quick. God damn. I want to put my D in your ear. Call it a deer. Oh, that's a new sex position. Niggas putting dicks in ears in all 2025. Oh man, we got to hit up Horrible Decisions on that. Be like, hey, you hear about this new thing? They call it a deer.
A deer. Yeah. They be like, I didn't even think about that, but I want to try it now.
Yeah, Weezy be like, oh my God, I don't know what that is, but I totally want to try it. Yeah. Oh my God, that is crazy. Yeah, Mike Jones was fire, bro. Remember that song he had? Ding, ding. I stay falsing in that candy paint, flowing down.
He had another, like, it was like a female kind of, not a female song, but like the.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I want to get next to you.
Yeah, that song. I low key miss those songs. Like, it used to have a little R&B chorus, and then you just the rapper just rapped the verses, and then. How to it either be like a female R&B singer or the male R&B singer.
Yeah, that album is like a classic because he got one on there. It's like got like a yodel, like a yodeling at the beginning, like yodel, Mike Jones. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
But I think the classic song they made over there at Swisher House was the still tipping on fofos.
Yeah.
Fofos.
Yeah.
Tipping on. That shit still go crazy.
Yeah.
That shit's that you turn your subs on with that song, that shit still go crazy.
Yeah.
That was easily almost 20 years ago. That shit came out in like 05, I think.
Dang.
Yeah, that came out in 05, bro.
Yeah, I remember those days. It was back
that
in
means
like
it was. Hold on.
School.
Let me look that up. How long ago did that put still tipping?
Tipping on fofos.
Wrapped in fofos. That came 05, yep. Damn, it's been 20.
Dang.
Oh my God.
That's junior high for me, not elementary school.
Ooh, I was in college when this shit came out.
Mm-hmm.
What it do is Paul Wild, I'm the people's champ. My chain light up like a lamp. Now I'm back with the camp. I'm something similar to an ant because I'm low to the earth. People's feelings get hurt when they figure out what I'm worth. I got 84s poking out. At the club, I'm showing out. He still rap like that, too.
Yeah, he still got that same flow.
Yeah. He came out with that song with Mexican OT.
Mm-hmm.
That was it Johnny Dang? That shit go hard.
I don't think I've heard that
You
one.
ain't heard that?
Mm-mm.
You got to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Vuitton, that shit go crazy. All right, enough of this. Slim Thug, you're corny. All right, stop. Just stop doing this, man. If I could tell that man anything, I would say you never look good trying to make somebody else look bad.
Yeah. And also just, I think 14 at 44 is not too crazy. Like 30, like if the
age gap.
Yeah, I think once you get a little older, that age gap is not as crazy.
Right.
But yeah, I think yeah, you just need to chill. Talk to women your age.
But also, I don't think he will work well with women his age either. This is an overall immaturity problem.
Yeah.
Period. It's not good to deal with that at all.
No serious woman want some guy online talking like this.
No, and not only that, that nigga gonna end up on that T app if he keep on acting like this. Like, I was trying to leave his house and he put his hands around my throat.
Dang.
He was like, "Oh shit."
He had a Rolls Royce though.
His Rolls Royce was nice, but his left hook was mean. He's like, if you're gonna be around Slim Thug, you gotta learn how to duck.
Learn how to shoulder roll.
Yeah, it's like you need to learn the Philly shell defense. You know, around this nigga. Oh man. If you want to, it's gonna post a picture of this nigga and it's gonna say, do any of y'all have MMA experience? You got to get this nigga in a Kimura for him to stop trying to beat on you. Oh my God.
Can anybody teach me the guillotine?
It's bad. Oh man. All right, let's move on from this guy. Switching gears. Recently, there's a murderer that got convicted, Brian Kohlberger. His victim's sister's remarks about the killer getting big D's in prison. It got some mixed reviews, but basically, whenever the guy is about to get sentenced, they allow the family to have a statement. And the younger daughter had relayed a message to the mom to tell the killer, and this is what she said. Let me play it right here.
You come down to Orange County often?
Yeah, I have to.
Hold on.
Quick message from our youngest daughter. Aubrey wanted to say, you may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison.
Thank you.
Quick message from our youngest
He didn't even know how to react.
You know, he's just a killer, so he just stood there stone faced. But deep down in his body, he was having a whole reaction.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's he's crazy. Actually, there's an extended version, and it's just a little bit longer. But she's like literally tearing this guy up, like eviscerating this guy, and you could tell it's like affecting him. But he's just a killer. But watch, hold on.
You may have received A's in high school and college, but you're going to be getting big D's in prison. For a long time, I didn't think I'd find the words low enough to meet you where you are. But now I realize this isn't about you. It's about what you've done to me, and I need you to hear it. When you murdered my daughter, Kaylee Jade Gonzalez, you didn't just take her life, you shattered others. You attacked what you could never be, and in doing so, you left a trail of devastation far beyond that house. You stole my peace. You've altered my every waking moment, every sleepless night, the way I view the world, people, safety, trust. It's all been changed by your cruelty. As a person working on a PhD in criminal justice, you really didn't think this one through. You're not that good. In fact, you're not that good at anything. You couldn't secure a job. You couldn't get along with others. You couldn't even get a female to look in your direction. All because you are pathetic. Now you're a joke in this courtroom. I wish I could crown you with a jester hat to complete your orange jumpsuit clown look. A dead killer doesn't kill again. So while I'm disappointed the firing squad won't get to take their shots at you, I'm confident that the men in prison will have their way with you in more ways than one. You will finally get what you wanted, physical touch. Just probably not how you were expecting it. You may have received A's in high school.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's necessary for families. You feel like if you take someone's family member and they have words that direct, there's nothing wrong with that. I've seen situations where they were getting ready to sentence somebody, and then the dad just jumped over the bench and socked the shit out of the dude.
Yeah.
And then there was one that I seen recently where they were about to sentence this murderer, right? And the dad's sitting there, And the bailiff, or one of the bailiffs that's standing in the courtroom, he leaps over it to punch the dude, and then the officer delayed like almost 2 seconds, like he didn't know what was going on. And man, he socked the fuck out that dude. Like the dude punched him hard and then punched him 2 more times, and they said, hey, you can't do that. If I was working in the courtroom, I would let them get their licks in and be like, hey, what are y'all doing? Why y'all doing that?
Hey, you stop that right there.
Stop, please. Come on, man. We can't do that here. Stop the violence, man.
Yeah, let's just break it up. Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Just beating his ass.
Yeah, right. I would do a better one. If I'm a bailiff in a courtroom, I'll be like, hey, I need you and him to come in this back room now. We cannot do this in here. And then I would take the killer, I'd take him in the hallway, and I'd take the dad in there. I'd be like, go ahead and hit him.
Dang.
And go ahead, just keep it down. I'm gonna let you get your licks in, but when you go in there, you need to act calm, okay?
Yeah. At first, when I heard this, I thought it was a little much. But then I thought back at I've had an uncle that was murdered. You know what I mean? So I think that when you are in those situations and you don't really have any, and I'm not, I can't completely empathize with her because she lost her daughter. But I'm just saying, when you are in those situations, you feel a little like helpless in a sense.
Absolutely.
Like, because you can't do anything. This person is going to go to prison and they get to live their life, obviously in prison, but they still are breathing, and they can get up and do things and live a life and whatever. But the deceased person doesn't get that opportunity.
They don't. And
so I think that that was her way of just like pouring out her emotions. Absolutely. And trying to find peace in the whole situation. So upon further review, I respect what she did there.
Yeah, murder is definitely a little much. So if you're combating that with just words, I feel like she articulated herself very well, and she probably took some time to really get that off her chest.
Yeah.
So when he's going to prison, and he got life, by the way. Once he's going there, those words are gonna really be. But also too, I think the way he murdered, he's just a coward. He was in there with his face all covered up and shit. He snuck in there and murdered her and her man in their sleep. And one of the roommates, I guess she had looked down and she seen him in there, and she ran up in her room, and she said the only way that they identified him is she looked over and seen that he had his nose, from his nose down, it was covered on his face, but his eyebrows were showing. And she said she's seen it. She said he had very bushy eyebrows. They was able to get that information and get some other things, and they found him.
Dang.
Yeah, and the dude was working on his freaking law degree. So this guy was in law.
He's a psychopath.
He's a psychopath. I think that some of those people, I wonder if there's anybody who has successfully became a lawyer or something of that nature, but they was like a murderer in their past life.
Yeah.
So they probably they know the insides. I'm not gonna say it was like it was like training or something, but who knows?
I mean, what's the dude's name? I always forget his name. The serial killer, one of them serial killers. He was in college and up in like Seattle or something like that. Or
which one?
I forget the one's name. It's not Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy was like, he had some like a year or so of college education. So I think he might have been studying like political science or something like that. So
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think that's I think there's a murder in every type of, we know that what's the name? Cousins.
Oh yeah,
he was a principal at a school.
Cousins.
Who am I thinking?
You mean Vincent Brothers?
Brothers. It's the wrong relationship.
Yeah, this nigga trying to find some family.
The wrong family tree.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
You know that nigga Auntie?
James Auntie, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Vincent Brothers. He's a principal at that school. So, I think there'd be murderers in every facet of life. Truck drivers, principals, educators, lawyers,
women that you don't expect, little women, like pretty, small,
Yeah.
And they find out they got multiple stab victims. You'd be like, how did this fucking 115-pound girl stab up on this? Oh my God. It's like, my thing is, I don't put shit past nobody, but this is what I will say, more specifically speaking to women. Ladies, whenever you go home, especially if you live alone or if you have a man, doesn't matter. Get off your phone, get out of your car. And once you get to near your door, make sure you looking around. Make sure you seeing what's different. Is there a van that's like unmarked that's been parked on your street for 2 days? You need to notice that. But if you're on your phone, you won't see it. You need to notice everything going on around you. So when something's and also if somebody's casing your house and they see you looking around like that, they gonna know you looking to pay attention. They like, okay, this person is alert. So if I'm gonna try to go in there and stab them or rob them, then they know that I might be coming. Right. Also, change up your schedule. Like, let's say, for example, you go to work at this time, but you don't get back until this time. If you let's say you take a vacation or whatever you're doing, come back home at a random time. Like, leave your house and just come back home. Like, don't let motherfuckers get comfortable getting your schedule down. Because somebody that's casing your house, that's what they're looking for. Also, keep that thing on you if you got one. If you got one in your house, have that motherfucker ready every night. So by the time this motherfucker stand over you with a blade, he bought the wrong motherfucking weapon into your house. And if you got a boyfriend, make sure he's not a pussy. Okay? Because if some shit go down, you can't have no motherfucker in there screaming with you. You need somebody that's going to defend you. And some of y'all be dating dudes that the dude is just like, y'all be dating dudes that's handsome. And all they know how to do is like come over and like be feminine right there with you. Yeah, don't be around a motherfucker that you don't feel safe around. Right? Yeah, because he in there in the bed laid up with you and he the little spoon. Right? You a little spoon in that motherfucker, and now y'all both stabbed up now. Okay? So just be smarter with the company you keep, right? And that goes for men too. Like if you're gonna have a woman over your house in any capacity, even if you just like y'all not serious and y'all just fucking around, if some danger comes in her way, you can't just let her get got, homie. You gotta defend her, man. You can't be like, nigga, I'm just smashing. You go ahead and stab her. I don't care. I was just smashing anyways. It's like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
There was a situation that happened. It reminded me what you were talking about, like choosing the right partner and stuff. The headline is Dad Under Fire for Running Off and Leaving His 7-year-old.
Yeah, I heard this shit.
Yeah. So newly obtained surveillance video reveals a chilling moment. A 7-year-old boy was abducted at gunpoint in a Milwaukee neighborhood while his father ran into the house, allegedly leaving his son behind.
Man.
The brazen kidnapping happened at just before 7 p.m. on Friday and sparked a statewide Amber Alert and an intense search that lasted nearly 24 hours before Jamal White was found safe on Saturday evening. So, yeah.
If I'm just in the street minding my business and I see a motherfucker trying to tell, I'll be like, hey. You know, what are you doing? Hey, I'm going to get involved, even if I don't want to. You can't let a motherfucker snatch your kid up, dog. Especially your kid. Whoever the mom is, the wife, you need to divorce this dude. This dude is a whole bitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm going to get involved. You going to have to, if you trying to take my kids, you going to have to blast me. You going to have to blast me. At least my kid will know that I was going hard for my kid. But you can't ever look at your parent the same, like if you did that happen.
You left me there, Dad.
Yeah,
Dang.
you left me there, bro. You weak ass nigga. You gon' man. That's why I'm saying, ladies, be careful. I'm not saying you need to date Mike Tyson, but even if the dude ain't like a tough guy, at least be around a motherfucker that's willing to get beat up. Like it could be a dude that's not like big and tough and shit, but if somebody fucking with you, he gonna get involved. Cause I done seen some dude. It's some situations where a dude done got hands put on him, but he was swinging and fighting and stuff, and the woman will still respect you. If you take an L and it's to a person way bigger than you, but you fought him and you got your licks in too, they not gonna trip.
Yeah,
they know they got a rider with them. They know they got somebody that's they could be safe around. But bro, if you running off on your child, oh my God.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, sad situation, man. That's all I got on that.
Yeah, I know Keith ain't got nothing else. Once he just do his head shake with the dreads move a little bit, I know he ain't got shit else to say. He's like, that's a shame. All right, let me go ahead and move on from there. Switching gears. Recently, Hunter Biden had a 3-hour interview with Channel 5, which is like an independent news source. It was a great interview. It was like 3 hours and 19 minutes. I listened to the whole thing, but there was a part of the interview where he spoke about his drug addiction and like about how like euphoric crack cocaine was. And some people like they just want to make this whole interview about crack. I think that that's irresponsible. I think Hunter Biden did a great job. As much as I've heard of him like being a fuck up, like you learn that a lot of these news sources are dragging him in these articles and saying stuff about him just to like continue to affirm the beliefs of their listener base.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have the clip?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But
you want to play it? Because I can pull it up while you're talking.
I have it here.
I'm saying I could plug the thing in.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and talk. I'll get it.
Okay. Oh, you don't got the cord with you?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, it's in your bag? Okay, well, you're not ready then, bro. That's the problem. Okay.
I said,
the
go
listeners,
ahead and talk,
the
and
listeners,
I can get it ready.
No, the listeners need to be ready for the listeners because they wanted to hear the clip. Okay. And then you doing what you do, right?
All right, Hunter Biden.
Now, this podcast is cracking. Oh, man. But yeah, the interview was over 3 hours long. He spoke about a lot of different issues and things with news networks and whatnot. What my personal take I will say is whether it's MSNBC or Fox News, just stop watching it. It's only in place to affirm the beliefs of people who watch that shit. And Fox News is insane, dude. That shit is a whole fuck show now. I don't know what that's not even news anymore. It's just like, well, the Democrats are trying to do this again, and then MSNBC is demonizing conservatives in a country where, you know, people claim to care about America, but you're giving them divisive fucking news. Like, can somebody please make it make sense?
Yeah,
All right,
I agree.
Let me go ahead and plug it on in here. Mr. Hunter Biden, let's see what you got to talk about, sir. All right. There we go.
Believe that smoking cigarettes is
Wait. I got to go back.
Well, the only difference between crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat, literally.
That's it?
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar, cocaine, and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
It's vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall. That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it combines with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. You know, all of these actors and, you know, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing.
Not exactly, but close to it. But it's a little bit different. But anyway, my point about it, your point about it, which I think is true, is that there's a thing about crack that is really insidious. And what it is that anytime, I think one of the reasons that they believe that smoking cigarettes is so addictive is because it combines three really important things. It's habit forming, there's an oral fixation, and there is a ritual combined with it. And so the idea of hand to mouth is a habit and a fixation that we learn very early, even as children. With the pacifier.
All right. He had some more detail in regards to crack cocaine. And here's the thing. He said that like it's so powerful that he didn't want to have some euphoric recall because he's been clean for a while. So I think that outside of, you know, people just making fun of Hunter and stuff like that, he mentioned that he knew he was a fuck up. Like he mentioned that he knew that he had a drug addiction, that he brought a lot of shame to his family. But I think that him talking about crack cocaine is important, mainly because his father was involved with the whole the 94 crack laws, right? That got a lot of people, more specifically black and brown people, sentenced to these crazy sentences. And the punishment for that was basically his son being addicted to crack cocaine. Right. So you create these steep laws and people go to prison for years, but your son could be willy-nilly running around on crack. Right. And also to the point to where everybody, and what I'm pretty sure he knows this, but Hunter Biden needs to understand that a lot of people that, especially black and brown people in these communities that went to prison, their dad can't pardon them. You know, there is no smoking crack and doing wild shit for years while avoiding prison sentences. That's just not how it works. So he's lucky to have a situation where he's not having to worry about putting dinner on the table and shit. He just was extremely addicted to crack, as he mentioned there. But I think this is more important for people to understand. Just don't do drugs, please. Just don't. Don't experiment with shit. They need to bring back the whole say no to drugs campaign, because genuinely you should not do drugs. No coke, no nothing. And in some cases, no alcohol, because you might think everything is fine and you don't drink at all. And then one night you go to a college party and you have 2 beers and you're like, ooh, man, that hit. I need another beer. And then you drink another beer, and then before the night ends, you've had 12 beers, and you're like, oh, dang, where has this been my whole life? And now the dopamine in your brain, like now you're drinking multiple beers per day, and you don't even realize you're an alcoholic now. Did you know that alcohol coming down from, he mentioned that too, coming down from alcohol can kill you? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. There was a guy that I seen on TikTok, and he says, I've been drinking for this many years. I've went this many hours without any alcohol. And as you can see, my hands are shaking. His hands were like uncontrollably shaking. And he was sitting at the table. He said, young folks, young people, please don't drink. Please don't drink. Look at me, right? And he says, after I have these few shots, I'm going to stop shaking. So he's shaking as he's picking up the shot glass. He's got like liquor coming out of the fucking shot glass, and he drinks it. Then he drinks another one, and then his hand stops shaking, and he just starts functioning. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I've seen my uncle like that. I was going somewhere with my uncle, and he was trying not to drink. He was just trying to prove to us that he didn't have to drink. And then he went for a little bit, and he was getting chills, and like he was, shaking and stuff like that. And he was able to go like, probably like a little over 24 hours. And then we went out of town, and then we came back, and then on the way home, he had to stop and get a drink, and that got him regular.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was one of those things.
This shit ain't no game, man. Alcohol is a drug too. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
I think that I'm very blessed that I don't have a fixation for alcohol. I've never, like, Keith has never seen, nobody has ever seen me drunk. I've probably been drunk maybe in my whole life, maybe 2 times. Just simply because I don't need a different or altered state in order for me to feel good. I like feeling sober, right? Life is already hard as it is. The bills and the daily grind. Why the fuck would I need all that liquor for? Like, just no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will advise people and say this. I think it's a little irresponsible that Fox News is using this interview just for clips to talk about his crack addiction, and they're laughing and shit. But I think it's extremely irresponsible, because that interview is 3 fucking hours. And even if you're Republican or Democrat, whatever you are, you need to be responsible with your platforms and not just show clips of something and dissect it, because it's just fucked up. We live in a time where people don't like long form, right? So with this podcast, imagine me and Keith, like, this episode is going to be well over an hour, right? But imagine they take 30 seconds of this episode and they turn us into all these different narratives. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. Oh, they're this. Oh, and it's like you listen to 30 seconds of over an hour. It's just irresponsible. And the news is not even news, man. So I don't know what we're getting out of it, but
I think He said that. I mean, he alluded to that though.
He did, multiple times.
He said that there was people that were talking crazy about me that I know have sex addictions and drug
addictions. Yes,
he said, and then I know that there's people that were talking about me that if it's not them, then they're person they're married to or their family or their uncle or aunt or whatever the case may be. So, I thought for me, I thought the interview was like. I never really heard him talk before. I was only introduced to him smoking crack. But when I actually, when I seen the initial clip where that one that we watched, it was floating around Twitter for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is like, I was like, he's talking about like drugs in a way that lets me know that he's extremely intelligent.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, so once I started, I didn't watch the whole interview, but I watched a lot of it, and you just see him talking about like his life, and he talks about who he was, and he's like, I was a professor at Georgetown, and like I had a life, like I'm not a guy, like he's just been turned into like the crackhead kind of person, but he's like I'm a pretty successful person, albeit I'm mostly known for like, just being a guy that got exposed. But even the way that we got that information is a little sick in itself, you know, like somebody basically stole those videos from him and, along with the emails and things like that. But like he was basically, he looked at it as a way like a glass half full type of situation. Like he's like, the worst parts of me are exposed, and now I'm able to kind of talk about these things and hopefully help other people. But there was a lot of things that he was talking about where he was just saying like certain things, certain misconceptions that he had, and he's had a very traumatic life, like his mom
she died, and his mom and his sister
died. Sister both passed away, and then his brother died, so now it's just Joe and Hunter.
No one gives a fuck. All they care about is tearing him down. They're not looking at him as a human being at all, and I think that's kind of disgusting.
That's the politics of it, though. I think if you're a human being, you watch this interview and you're like, yo, I have a lot of empathy for him, and I understand his plight a lot more. That's a normal human being, but most people are so politically charged that if you're a Republican watching that, you're just like making fun of him. But like, but there's nothing you could do about that. But I do think that like that interview, to me, I wanted to kind of send that to some people like that I knew that are like battling things, but I didn't think that they would watch it. But because I think it's a great redemption story. Like I feel like he said he's 6 years clean, and I think that he is in a space now where he's probably like very clear-minded and level-headed, and who knows what he's going to do after that. But I do think that he's probably going to be talking more in front of the camera more, and he's well-spoken, and he's a real person. I think that people love like a flawed individual that like has a history. It is. It's like when you it's like when like the OGs is talking to like the young game bangers or whatever. Like if it's me talking to them like, hey man, you need to stay out the streets. Like, I'm like, what? Like you ain't like, what do you know about this life? But if it's like an OG that's like been through it and now he's in church, or now he's, he has a decent job working, he's a truck driver working in the oil fields or something like that, and he's having that same conversation, it's more of a shorthand that they and they understand each other a little more. So I think Hunter Biden, if he does decide to, I don't know, do anything politically or run for mayor or whatever the case may be, or just be an activist for people, I think that he'll be well received because of that.
He also mentioned George Clooney for a little bit. What I took from the interview too is he probably doesn't have the best relationship with Barack Obama, because when he was talking about him, he said like, with George Clooney, I guess he's like good friends with Barack and whatnot, but like outside of that, like who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is this guy? Mm-hmm. Who the fuck does he think he is? Disrespecting my father. Because George Clooney, when he went for the before the presidency, I guess it was a benefit or whatever it was, and then security looked over at Joe Biden and says, Joe Biden, this is George Clooney and so. and George Clooney was offended that Joe Biden did like not address him first. Which he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just that's how you feel about my dad? Like, who are you, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, fuck him.
I think a lot of people don't realize, like, I mean, I think they know it, like, on paper.
Right.
But that's his dad, you know? So he is affected anytime anybody says something bad about him. And I think that he used that interview as an opportunity to, like, just kind of let some people have it.
I think he spoke for his dad, too. I really do. I think his dad is terminally ill. And I bet you Joe was like, fuck it, say what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's 55 now. Like, you know, he ain't going to be holding his tongue for nothing, really.
Well, not just that. I'm just saying that Joe Biden is terminally ill right now.
No, I understand that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying, like, I think he's a grown man. So
Yeah.
he has a lot of emotions about, like, the things that people say about his dad, and he's, like, letting people have it now.
The only reason why I'm mentioning that at all because, like, Hunter has not had a conversation like this before, and I think it might have been to, you know, spare any embarrassment or spare any negative attention towards his father. And I think that, especially since his dad dropped out, I think that this makes a lot more sense to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm predicting Joe Rogan next.
That would be dope. Yeah, I think that would be a great conversation.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a heavy one. There's a couple people I want to see on Joe Rogan just so they could like speak their piece. I think I want to see Hunter on there. I want to see Colin Kaepernick go on Joe Rogan. There's been a lot of narratives and things over the years. I want to hear these conversations, just so we could get clarity. I want to see Kamala Harris on there, and I also want Kamala Harris to go to Flagrant podcast, simply because I think it's important, even though she's not running, to go over there because the conservatives, the Republicans, they went over there and they talked.
Yeah.
And I don't see the point of not having a conversation. I would like to also see Barack Obama on. I would see Barack Obama on Flagrant before Joe Rogan.
I think if Barack was, I feel like Flagrant is kind of like a growing platform.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a play on the part of like Donald Trump. And a couple other like politicians that have been on there. I think that when they initially ran, they probably didn't think that it was that big of a deal.
Right.
But now it seems like that's like one of the places you have to stop to reach that, you know, that community of people. So yeah, I don't want to say nothing negative about it because I would sound like a hater. But yeah, I think that Democrats definitely need to swing by there and
they do
and talk.
If Barack doesn't go on there, I would like to hear Michelle on Joe Rogan, just because I want to hear more conversation. Because you think about it, Candace Owens went on the Breakfast Club, and that was a good interview. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta have more conversations, literally on both sides from these different platforms. You know, so I don't know. There's definitely a lot more work to be done. I would be busting up it would not happen, but I would be busting up. Well, I don't think the Breakfast Club is qualified outside of Charlemagne for that conversation with Hunter Biden.
Oh, of course not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, 100%.
I just don't. I think they'll fuck it up.
I think Lauren might.
Lauren might be.
But but then, you know, Charlemagne, you just never know. I think he can have a great interview, but I I don't like when he gets in there and he's just like on some sort of like, I don't want to. The thing I want to say may sound misogynistic, but like I just hate when he goes in there with an attitude. So yeah, I don't like those interviews when he does that. But when he's like really locked in and he really wants to like have the conversation, then it's always going to be a good interview.
Yeah, the only issue I have with Lauren is sometimes the questions are posed to be messy. Like she'll ask a question, but the question is set up in a way for you to hang yourself rather than for you to actually answer the question. And I think Lauren is full aware of what she's doing when she does that. But outside of that, yeah. But when they had certain politicians, they fucked it up. When they had Rush Limbaugh before Rush passed away, the Breakfast Club got ate up by him, man. They got way too emotional. They couldn't have a good conversation. And then when they had Vivek on there, Ramaswamy, when they had him on there, they had like Tess Figaro, and she was extra emotional, just talking over him, cutting him off. It's like, bro, you can't do that.
Yeah, you got to remove your emotions.
You got to remove your emotions because if the thing about it is a lot of people on the right, they're like, the Democrats are just emotional, blah, blah, blah. And you fed right into it. You need to just be able to sit back, articulate. I genuinely know, I don't feel this, I know this. If we were to have Vivek Ramaswamy, and we don't even dig into politics, we would have had a better conversation than they did.
Yeah.
100%. We would have gave him the floor to speak. If I heard something that I didn't feel was either authentic or true, then I would have asked him the question. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like they did a fucked up job. Rush Limbaugh is another one. I feel like me and Keith would have been able to pose a better conversation.
Yeah. I'm not trying to like corner anybody either. Like I'm not that invested.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I want you to feel comfortable. So if any hanging gets done, you did it to yourself. I'm not the one that did it. Mm-hmm. I'm just listening, receiving information, and asking you questions off what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you want to know somebody, let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see sometimes these platforms, MSNBC or Fox News, when they get somebody that's opposite party, they like give them rapid fire questions and then they cut them off while they're talking. It's like, that's not authentic. Mm-hmm. Like that's not authentic at all. Like you're trying to get something out of them so you could clip it up.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that dickhead's name from Fox? Oh my God. He's like the biggest guy, Hannity. Mm-hmm. That's like what Hannity does. Mm-hmm. He'll be like, so when you sign the bill, what does that mean? And they try to respond, when you sign it, then what else did you get from it? Well, what do you think you would get from it? Mm-hmm. And then they try to answer it again. He's like, if you didn't get anything from it's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, don't make me tell you to shut the fuck up live, man. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Yeah. All right, man.
But yeah, it's a great interview. I think if anybody is out there and you're not like this like staunch Republican, like, and you are just willing to listen to a conversation and you just like, you don't bring like your politics, you don't wear your politics as a tattoo on your chest, like you can definitely learn a lot from that interview.
Absolutely. All right. You want to just wrap it up?
Yeah.
You wrap it up here, or you want to talk about the last one, or we could just go ahead and
No, we could wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, guys? Check it out. It's been good. We've completed this episode without coming across that roach. We don't know if that roach passed away or where it went, but has not resurfaced so far. And it's been a very peaceful interview, knowing that roach is somewhere that we're not. Okay, so if you made it to the end of this episode, we genuinely...
but the clip is coming soon. I was working on it, but I had to insert the actual video where you recorded, so I'm going to post that. I'm going to post that probably tomorrow.
All right, so you got some extra content coming. But yeah, man, if you guys have made it to the end of this episode, we genuinely appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Finks.
We are out of here.
Peace.